out. I want to talk to you about how to make those mitered corners with bringing the back of the fabric up here. But I thought it would be a good thing to show as well how to do that if that's something you're trying to do. Okay? Alrighty, so how do I make those mitered corners? How do I do it where the back that I already have quilted comes around to the front? And I'll show you that right now. Okay, so what you do is you want to make sure, remember how I said you're going to trim up the batting to match the top, and then on the backing you're going to trim it to be 1 inch beyond the top. Now again, as I mentioned before, you can do this technique, this same technique with any size. So I've seen where people will do placemats and they'll have a kind of a nice little outer border on the placemat that is fully mitered on the corners, and they might do it, they might cut 3 inches because they want a 1.5 inch border, but I only wanted a 1/2 inch binding. So because I wanted a 1/2 inch binding, that means I'm going to actually cut my backing fabric to be 1 inch, so double, 1 inch beyond the front. Does that make sense? So whatever size you want your binding to be, your finished binding, you're just going to double that. So again, I wanted a 1.5 inch binding. So actually the outside that I'm going to cut, trim, is 1 inch beyond. Okay, so let me bring you back down here. Now, I've seen lots of ways that people do this. I've seen where they will fold it in once and then fold it in again, and they'll do the same thing here and they'll fold it in again. But what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is it doesn't look that great, right? Because it's not a mitered corner. And you end up getting a ton of bulk right there, which is a lot of extra fabric. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So what you'll do is you'll take your ruler, and with this open, let's see, pull this over here. Whoops, nope, that way. Okay, with this open, I'm going to find the 45-degree angle on my ruler. So I know you probably can't see that very well, but this line says 45 degrees because I want to cut at 45 degrees. So I'm just going to line up the 45 degrees along the top of my piece. 45 degrees, and then I need to push this so it goes a 1/4 inch beyond the corner, my top corner. So I'm just going to push this out. Again, my 45-degree angle is lined up right along the top, so I know that I'm at the proper angle. I'm a 1/4 inch beyond. Let's see if I can get you up a little bit closer. A 1/4 inch beyond the corner. Okay? So ruler, 45-degree line, a 1/4 inch beyond, and now I'm going to trim. There we go. I just cut off that little corner right there. And then I'll go around and I'll do the same thing on the next side. I'm lining up my 45-degree angle along the top here. I extend this out, my ruler out, 1/4 inch beyond the corner. Sometimes you got to just play around with it a little bit to get your ruler in the right place. Okay, now that it's a 1/4 inch beyond, I'm going to trim that. And there we go. So what you'll do is you'll do that on all 4 corners, and it's going to look something like this. Okay, when you're done. All right, now at this point, what you want to do is you're going to, let me grab something real quick. I'm going to grab my wool mat so that I can press right up here by the camera. Okay, so now it looks like this. What you'll want to do is you fold this in towards the quilt top, and you stop there and you press it. So give it a good press. And I'll do the same thing on this side. So again, you're just folding it halfway, which is right towards the top. Okay, and press. I see that? It's not all the way over, not yet. Okay, now some might think, oh, okay, so Chris, all you have to do is now fold it over one more time, right? Nope, not yet, not yet. This is the trick. With this, looking this way, both sides are folded in. Now I'm going to fold this in half where that angle was. I'm going to fold it in half backwards on top of itself, just like that. So again, I'm just following the angle, fold it back on top of itself. Boom. And now I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine, and I stitch from the end over to the corner at 1/4 inch. Do you see why we kept it at 1/4 inch? It's so that we can make sure and have enough space there. I'm going to move some stuff out of my way that I'm going to show you later. I'm so excited. Okay, so again, it looks like this. Now I'm going to fold it on top of itself back. If you need to pin it, you can pin it, but it's real easy not to have to do that. And now I'm just going to sew that closed with my sewing machine. I have it set up to 1/4 inch. And cut. Easy as that. And I'm going to do it on the other side that I did. Now I've already done 2 sides for the demo, but again, I have this looking like that. I'm going to fold it in half with the right sides together, line everything up there, and now sew one more time. 1/4 inch. Okay, that's how easy it is, my friends. So hopefully I didn't make you sick there. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to trim this seam allowance up a little bit. Do you see how much extra fabric is in there? So I'm just going to kind of snip it on both ends just to get rid of that extra bulk, and I'll do the same thing on this one. Okay, I'm going to take my fancy little R&K tool, which I absolutely love, and I'm just simply going to pull that out. Easy peasy. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Okay, again, such an easy way to bind or to even do like placemats or something. Another thing I would probably do, which I didn't show you, I would probably backstitch, just saying. Okay, and I did not do that, but I would definitely backstitch because these are wanting to come out. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so I'm just poking that out with my little R&K tool here, and there we go. See how that just comes out and over, and it makes it a perfect corner. Ta-da! And now all I would have to do is go around and top stitch around this. I could do a zigzag stitch if I wanted to. I could do a top stitch, whatever it is to my heart's desire, I could stitch. All right, so I won't end up doing the whole thing, but let me show you a little bit of what it ends up looking like. Let's see. Let me find one. I didn't press it all, so. There you go. And I probably shouldn't have started at a corner so that I could have just gone around, but you guys get the idea, right? Okay. Oops. Okay, look at that. A beautiful mitered corner right there that was brought up from my backing fabric. I didn't have to cut anything separate. And look how it's just sewn in right there. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, it's absolutely perfect. Like, dang, that was good. That was really good. So you would do the same thing all the way around your project. It's kind of like you've created this frame going around. And again, it was from your backing fabric. So whether you're doing placemats, remember, same idea, same concept with the placemats, and you can make it bigger. You don't have to do it as a 1/2 inch. Make it an 1.5 inches and cut it out 3 inches beyond, your backing 3 inches beyond. But the one I did was, I wanted a 1/2 inch finish, and it looks just like regular binding. Look at that. I mean, that looks like regular binding on there, right? And that mitered corner is absolutely perfect. All right. Okay, any questions? Yay, Jennifer says she's ready to make placemats. Isn't that fun? Kenzie says she loves the corner trick. Good, 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 good. So glad. Good. Janet shares a great tip. Thank you. I love to bind quilts too. This method will be fun to do. Yeah, you know, it's not a method I use for every single quilt. Certain quilts call for different methods, right? This just happens to be like that quick, easy, fast go-to. Oh my goodness, I don't look at all this extra backing that I have, and I don't want to have to cut extra, you know, binding. So I'm just going to wrap it up to the front. And when you do it this method, when you do it the mitered corner method, it truly does look like you have added binding onto it that you didn't have to worry about anything else, right? A lot of you are loving the R&K turning tool. We've got tape around ours. It doesn't normally have this tape. I love it because it has that little ball point on the end. So when you're poking out corners and stuff, you don't have the accidental, oops. Have you done that before? Yeah. Okay. Lori says, I do it and use fancier stitches to close it up. Excellent idea. Yeah, it would be a great time to try some of your fancy stitches, or to even do a zigzag stitch, a serpentine stitch, you know, anything like that. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Larry said, unless you are using a very generic backing, this method is wonderful. A self-binder when you use batiks is beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, self-binding actually, you know, it works. It works. It's great. Like I said, I don't use it for every single project, but there are certain projects that I use it on. And this is, you know, especially for smaller projects like this, I love it. Okay, very true. Deborah shares, you don't have to worry about different color thread for the binding and backing. Isn't that the truth? It's the same on the front as it is on the back. Yep, don't have to worry about that. Now, obviously, I used blue so that it would stand out for you guys to be able to see. But if I were doing this normally, I probably would have chosen white on this one. So it would just kind of blend in better. But yeah. Shauna said it would be great on a table runner. Absolutely, absolutely. You guys, it is so easy to do. I hope I I hope I demonstrated for you well enough that you could see how simple it is. Again, however wide you want that finished binding to be, you're just going to double it, okay? Times that by 2, that's what you cut your backing piece to trim up at, okay? And then you're going to cut it at your 45-degree angle beyond the 1/4 inch point, beyond the corner, okay? Don't forget that, all right? Don't forget that. And then simply fold it in half, and then you're going to before you fold it in half again, you've got to remember, you got to pull it back so your 1/4 inch. Oh my goodness, it is just as easy as can be. All right. Okay, Shirley says that she uses this method for mug rugs all the time. I love that. Yeah, great idea. Some of those projects you don't want to have to do a separate binding. You know, the other nice thing, oh my gosh, you guys, this is so nice. This is so nice about it. I just thought about this. You know, another reason why this method is so awesome is because you don't have to think about this. You don't have to join your ends of the binding. Now, I don't mind joining ends, but I know a lot of you, that's like, oh, the thorn in your side is how to join those ends, right? Guess what? You don't have to join ends this way. Okay. Okay, Janet, you got me. You're right. Some of you who've been watching me, you know how I roll on this. It's like you using those different colored zippers just to add a bright colored thread. Get creative, get out of the different thread and live a little. Isn't that the truth? Okay, for those of you who have just started watching this, this is something I say all the time. Life is too short for same colored zippers. Life is too short for same colored zippers. So Janet, touche, my friend, you got me. She's saying, come on, Chris, you can do more and have the different color thread. I love you, Janet. Okay. Sandra asks, if you have the larger binding, do you put the batting in it? Nope. The batting stays the same as your top. Oh, I'm so glad. Patty shared, self-binding has always been so confusing to me. Thanks for taking the difficulty out the difficulty in it. Yay! That makes me happy. Thank you, Patty. Let's see. Yes, that is so true, Lynn. Lynn said, joining the ends isn't bad if your project is a decent size to work with. And how true that is. You know, when you have a larger project to work with, it's much easier to join the ends because you have a lot of wiggle space to work through, right? But when you have really small projects and you don't have a lot of wiggle space to turn those, you know, the strips at you know, at a right angle and try to get that miter, forget about it. It's kind of a pain, right? So this would be the perfect answer to some of those small projects for sure. Susan really likes this because she said it really connects the back to the front color-wise or pattern-wise. Yeah, you know, that's another question we often get asked is, you know, what should I use for my binding? And while I love all different kinds of colors and fabrics and patterns, and I don't get too hung up on it, I know that for a lot of us, trying to have a binding that looks good with the front as well as the back can sometimes be a challenge. So this would definitely take that out of the equation. Thank you, Susan. Great comment. Okay. Yay! Debbie says she's going to try this method for placemats and table runners. Yeah, so fun. Okay, I'm laughing. Can I share this, Cindy? I hope you don't mind. She said, my first time finding your show. Are you Kimberbell's sister? Who's Kimberbell? I have no idea who she is. Just teasing. Yes. Yes, Cindy, I am. We are twins. We are twins. Yeah, she's 2 minutes older than me. And she always she growing up, this is, some of you may have heard me say this before, but she growing up, she would always that was the theme growing up, like, I'm 2 minutes older, I'm 2 minutes older. And so when she says that now, and we're 40 something something something, I will always say to her, I'm 2 minutes younger. It's not a good thing to be able to say I'm 2 minutes older anymore, right? Yeah, so Cindy, yep, we are twins. All right. Oh, Deborah, thank you so much. She says she learns something new every day at 4 in Texas. That's right. Yay! All right. So, yeah, for those of you who are new to our 3 Themes at 3, every day we come on Monday through Friday, and we started this during the quarantine, and it's just been so much fun to be able to get to know all of you, and so we just decided to continue it. Why not? And so every day we do 3 Themes at 3, which is 3 o'clock Mountain Time, so 2 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. And we do 3 themes. So the number 1 theme is a daily smile, and I'm just sharing something funny, something for us to laugh about and not get so, dismayed about the world, right? And then the second theme is our daily how-to. So I'll just share some kind of tip or trick or whatever it might be. Lots of different things we share for that. And then the third theme is the daily deals. So thank you for those of you who have just found us. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay. Kathy asked, if you had a 2-inch binding, would you put out the ruler at 45-degree angle, slide it up to a 1/4 inch still, or do you have to calculate differently if you want a binding that's not 1/2 inch like you did? That is an excellent question, Kathy, and I have an answer for you. You still want to do the 1/4 inch. Okay, because that's what your seam is going to be. Your seam's going to be a 1/4 inch, so you want to go beyond a 1/4 inch from that corner in order to make it work. So it does not matter what size your finished binding is going to be. Does not matter. You're still going to do a 45-degree angle, and you'll still do a 1/4 inch from the corner. Let me see if I have, yeah, oh, I already did that one. Let me pull this out. There we go. So again, see if you can see that. This was 1 inch beyond it. I measured a 1/4 inch from the corner to here, and the reason for that is, again, because I'm using a 1/4 inch seam. All right, and then we'll cut it at the angle, the 45-degree angle. Then we'll turn it in just halfway on both sides. Then don't turn it in again. This is where a lot of people get confused. They go, oh, yay, I can see it's happening. But guess what? If you do that, you're going to have a raw edge right there. You don't want that, right? So what you want to do instead is you want to fold it back on top of itself. Take it to your sewing machine, stitch that line going up to the corner, and then you'll get something that looks like this. I need to poke it out a little bit more, but you'll get something that looks like this, okay? That you just come around, and then you end up just doing a straight stitch on top or whatever you want, and there you go, okay?